scientific
This
method.
call is now being recorded.
Who is responsible for emergency care success in the hospital? इस डिपार्टमेंट की सक्सेस के पीछे who do you think are responsible? Anyone?
Sir, administrator.
Okay. Anyone else?
Sir, HOD.
HOD means doctors. Okay.
Head of the department.
Sir, that whole team of casualty or
Ha-
emergency department.
Whole HOD means you're talking about the medical professionals. You're talking about doctor.
No, sir, everyone.
What is everyone?
From reception to doctor, nurses, or any other like ward boys. Sorry, ward boys name.
Huh? Why? What? The boys which are lifting the patient from the ambulance and bringing inside.
Yes, sir.
Your
Yes, sir.
stretcher bearers, they are important.
Yes.
Your
Yes, sir.
security staff, they are
Yes, sir.
important. So it is the entire system, entire team which is there, which is working, from doctors to nurses to administrators to security staff to your ambulance services people to the people who are wearing the stretchers. So you need to train them all together. It is not that now you will, when you go more into the details, you will start realizing that it is not just doctor and a patient which is important. It is adding with so many things that becomes a pillar. That's a very important thing. But all the people who are providing the care, so understanding of the protocols, procedures, policies of functioning of this department by one and all at the same speed of actions which have to happen is important, right? So multidisciplinary team which functions, their understanding is equally important. Thus we come to the point of staffing. What affects the staffing? कितना staff देना है हमको वो depend करेगा the size of the emergency department or the type of the emergency department, which we have discussed before. What, let's say it's a 10-bedded accident emergency or a 2-bedded or a 4-bedded, accordingly the staff will what workload, what is the footfall, what number of patients in a day are coming to the emergency, which will dictate that what staff will I be providing. The training of the staff, the background checks, the credentials and the experience of that trained staff which I will be placing there. What are the financial requirements will also dictate the staffing over there. And कितनी देर में shift change होगी, किस frequency पे वो change होगी, will tell me about various staffing factors to which I am planning this department. So it depends from shift to shift that we have. We may have a 6-hour shift, we may have a 8-hour shift, depending on the numbers to which we are having. And then we give the number of people according to the load where it happens, and so many things which dictate as to what staff should be present. So it depends on the type of, again, which I go back repeatedly to the type of accident emergency. If you are type 1, you will have everything which I have listed here. You will have the basic specialists which are available. You will have a physician which is available. You have a nursing staff. You have lab technician, X-ray technician, BT, blood transfusion, and stretcher squads which are getting the patient inside. So it all revolves around these. You can decrease the number depending on if the emergency department is smaller or bigger. There are scales which are laid down to have a mandatory staffing towards these areas. So this we discussed. Key process indicators, if I have to say, as an administrator, if my focus has to happen, it will be on early detection, early reporting, early response, on-scene care, that is both when I've received the patient, care in transit, which we discussed about pre-hospital care, and definitive care, which is happening within the hospital setting. These are my 5 to 6 areas which I would like to focus upon. What processes, which we talk about protocols, what protocols which should be followed, how are you receiving the patient, whether there are adequate number of stretchers, wheelchairs, number of people who are supposed to get the patient. There is nobody standing at the door. You have not nominated any staff. You have got cost cutting आपने करा हुआ है, और patient गाड़ी से उतरता है emergency से. The person who has bought the patient is driving on the driver's seat. The patient is on the co-driver seat, but there is nobody to assist, or there is no availability of wheelchair, or there is trolley but nobody is there to pull. So how is that to be received? This is a protocol which you will evaluate, you will check, and you will put in place as an administrator. What is the procedure of registration the patient when he moves in? How are you receiving that patient, and what activities are happening? How cordial is your staff? How is your initial assessment is happening? Your initial triage, when we discussed who's in charge of triage? Whom do you think should be in charge of a triage which happens in accident emergency?
Nurse, triage nurse.
Triage nurse. So whether the triage has happened, whether the triage nurse is there and the patient has been prioritized or not, then comes once the patient is in resuscitation, how the patient has been handled subsequently. वहां से लेके हॉस्पिटल के वार्ड तक वो पेशेंट शिफ्ट कैसे हो रहा है, ट्रांसफर कैसे हुआ है अंदर, who's taken the patient, who's carrying the documents, who's handing over the patient to the ward or an ICU. So that procedure or that process is equally important. Now these are why I've listed, because these are under our domain. Then comes a very important thing is medical legal cases. What happens if a found dead case comes to an emergency? What procedure to follow? कौन से केस को हमें पुलिस को रेफर करना है? And then how does the response mechanisms of handling the bodies which we get, which are unclaimed or related to medical legal cases? अब कुछ केसेस ऐसे भी होते हैं इमरजेंसी से जो हमें मॉर्चरी में सीधा शिफ्ट करने पड़ते हैं. So how sensitive is my team towards doing that? Because there are relatives involved, simultaneous activities are happening. My team, medical team, is busy in treating the patients simultaneously, but here is a dead body also lying inside. How do we handle that? उसको कैसे हैंडल करना है, कैसे उसका डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करना है, कैसे उसको ट्रांसफर करना है, where does that body move down to? And in case such thing has happened, my process is very important here, which I would like to monitor, is how do my staff break the bad news to the relatives of the patient who has died? क्या उसमें वो sensitivity है समझाने की या नहीं? These are gray zone processes which I have listed. Normal procedures आपको हर कोई बताएगा कि उसके अंदर infection control होना चाहिए. अगर आपकी snake bite है या cardiac emergency है तो cardiac trace होनी चाहिए. So I've tried to list some of those gray zone processes जिसमें हमारा ध्यान नहीं जाता, जिसकी वजह से हमारा patient care पे impact पड़ता है. So equally important is receiving, equally important is transporting within the hospital, equally important is handling bad news or declaring a patient as dead, and equally important is moving the dead body out of the emergency also, right? So these are key processes. If I have to function, I will look into. And with this gets related are the quality assurance outcome indicators. Quality assurance, if I have to list कि मुझे इस department, somebody was from quality, which we talked in the beginning. From the quality department, one person was there. So if I have to weigh this department as an administrator, I would look out the outcome indicators of this department, which will reflect upon how it is performing. हमने कहा वर्कलोड बहुत ज़्यादा है, क्राउडिंग बहुत ज़्यादा है, बट मुझे कैसे पता चलेगा कि मेरा डिपार्टमेंट ठीक चल रहा है कि नहीं चल रहा है? So will I give a performance indicator? Door to doctor time, कितनी जल्दी वो पेशेंट को डॉक्टर तक पहुंच गया है, या my medical team has reached onto the patient, what is that time? कितनी देर में वो सबसे पहला पेशेंट, सबसे पहला असेसमेंट हुआ, moment the patient has moved in, या पड़ा हुआ है वहां पे 3 घंटे तक nobody is coming in. So what is the time frame to which the initial assessment, the first part, first 10 minutes which we started from, ट्रीटमेंट कितनी देर में उस पेशेंट का खत्म होता है और वो पेशेंट वहां से बाहर मूव होता है? Rather we are just monitoring and keeping overnight the patient in emergency and clogging the beds. So intake and outflow and time factors in handling in between will be the performance indicator towards the patient. Efficiency indicators, कितने पेशेंट पूरे दिन में मेरे पास इमरजेंसी में है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई गेट 50 पेशेंट्स, my 10 bedded ICU, 10 bed emergency is there. So it is an indicator to me, or numbers over a period of time. So that is called as throughput, that the workload on the department is an indicator of the performance. I have given 4 nursing officers round the clock, but I have one patient which comes in every shift, for example. So patient throughput is an outcome indicator. कितनी देर वो पेशेंट इमरजेंसी में रहा. My team is efficiently low and they're keeping the patient throughout the night in emergency. Why should a patient be in emergency throughout the night? Why the patient is not being admitted? So that for me is a very important question, that I will like to keep this department as less as decongested, as with the less occupancy as possible, for genuine patients to move inside. अगर वो पूरी रात आपके पास इमरजेंसी में रहा है तो he may not be that emergent a case. Or if it was that emergent, that why he was not shifted to the ICU. Please don't make an ICU with an accident emergency. Declutter, decongest emergency so that the average length of stay in accident emergency is as short as possible. What is the resources which have been provided and utilization of the resources? That is again an efficiency indicator. That outcome जो उस department का है उस पे वो कितना important है कि resources are there or not available. If I talk about from the patient's perspective, somebody said patient satisfaction scores. If we do an evaluation, we get to know a lot of things from here. What are the complaint rates which are coming from the emergency department to me? From the door of the hospital, I've sent the patient back. सब ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं है. But वो रात को फिर से emergency में आ जाता है. That means there is a genuine problem that patient is having. Why did he have to come again? Why was he not handled at the first point in time? So how many such re-attendance cases will be an indicator to me as an outcome performance of that department? If I have safety indicators, what kind of staff vulnerabilities are there? Like आपने emergency में बहुत जल्दी treatment किया, but कितनी जगह पे medication error हुआ, गलत दवाई, गलत नाम, गलत पेशेंट. वो मेडिकेशन एरर बिकॉज आप पॉसिटी ऑफ टाइम में थे या आपको पता नहीं था ड्रग्स कहाँ पे पड़े. दैट मीन्स देयर इज लैक ऑफ इनहेरेंट कोऑर्डिनेशन एंड ट्रेनिंग. देन उसकी वजह से कितनी जगहों पे पेशेंट को एडवर्स रिएक्शंस हुए, और वी हैव गॉट अ नियर मिस वेयर द पेशेंट वुड हैव डाइड बिकॉज ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट which was being provided which was not adequate. So, or somebody has lost his life because the treatment was not appropriate. That means sentinel event has happened. So there are big issues of patient safety which comes in part of the needle stick injury जो staff को, क्योंकि बहुत जल्दी treatment दे रहे हैं तो injection अपने आप को भी लग रहा है. So how many people are having needle stick injuries, medication errors, adverse events and sentinel. Adverse मतलब जो चीज़ नहीं होनी चाहिए थी वो हुई because मैंने protocol को ठीक से follow नहीं किया while I was treating the patient. So it depends. I've just given few examples here. You don't have to memorize it, understand it. That from performance part, from efficiency part, from patient के point of view से, and from the safety point of view, patient safety point of view, what are the outcome by which I can understand and evaluate this department where the care is being provided. Clear? इसमें any doubts anyone has got?
Sir, one query.
Sir.
Like sometimes, if there is no bed available in the ICU, then the patient is kept inside the emergency, and such situations I have faced at least few times.
Okay, if you want an answer, sir, I will tell you it's a point where systems approach has to happen. Now, why I'm saying systems approach, I'll go back here to my protocols and procedures of the ICU. Now, ICU, the patient needs also to move to the acute medical or acute surgical wards. Maybe the transfer mechanism from the ICU needs to be once again seen. Because उसका जो trickle effect है, वो आपके accident emergency पे आ रहा है. So that is one. Second aspect, coming back to accident emergency, it has to be weighed between the capability of an emergency department. आपके पास 10 बेड हैं और आप एक बेड पे होल्ड करना चाहते हैं, fair enough, there is nothing wrong, क्योंकि ICU is generally ICU is full. बट मेरे पास है ही 2 बेड और उस पे मैं 2 पेशेंट रात को आई एम डिटेनिंग देम बिकॉज वन पेशेंट, आई टेल यू एक और इशू सर क्या आता है. वन बेड पे एक पेशेंट है जिसको मैंने रात भर, ही इज अ केस ऑफ फूड पॉइजनिंग, और उसको मैं रात भर मैंने वहाँ पे मेंटेन किया एक्सीडेंट इमरजेंसी में. व्हाई? बिकॉज माय मेडिकल ऑफिसर फील्स दैट इफ आई सेंड हिम टू द वार्ड एंड इट इज टू बी ट्रीटेड एंड आईवी लाइन लगा के उसको घर भेजना है, 4 आईवी लाइन लगाना है और घर भेजना है. So he feels that if I send, my specialist will get aggressive towards me that why have I admitted the patient. So that hierarchy dictates also admissions. The second aspect is when the beds are not available in the ICU or in the acute ward, the patient is held. But who's suffering here? Everything comes back as a trickle effect to accident emergency, which is the first point of contact where patients are moving in. हमने अपनी inefficiency की वजह से उस जगह को कंजेस्ट कर दिया है. So if we are not able to move a patient out from emergency for 8-10 hours, it is absolutely a administrative challenge, and I will literally put it in no uncertain terms, administrative failure. One sort is fine, but if it is happening repeatedly, इसका मतलब है we need to go back and check our processes as a system, starting from the wards to the ICUs and then coming back to the emergency. And also giving that confidence to the doctors, or because generally the doctors which are in emergency are medical officers. Very rarely the specialists are working there. They should be given a free hand to take decisions so as to move the patient forward in the hospital. These two areas, if you give that confidence, you will automatically realize that the emergencies get decongested also.
Quite right, sir. But in that case, I usually insist that intensivist should also be in contact, constant touch of the patient, because ultimately the patient will be going to ICU.
Yes, absolutely right. So that times that respective specialist, even if the medical officer is there, he will be in touch with them, and they need to come down and evaluate to the emergency the patient, depending on the criticality and depending on the specialty to which you want to call upon the specialist. So that becomes important. We discussed, and these are the outcome indicators. I come towards the end to conclude. It's a very important area. We have also understood by now. It demands lot of time, energy, resource, manpower, focus, and attention of a administrator who's working there. This department is handling life and death, and it needs to be taken care in that manner. We may focus on ICU and OT because वो भी life and death handle करते हैं. But equally important is accident emergency, which is also handling the same manner, though more in a raw form. Straight सबसे पहला patient यहीं पे आ रहा है. And I said the word systems approach, integrating care from the point of view of emergency and occurrence right up to the last point, from emergency to the treatment, to the moving inside the hospital, to the resuscitative or rehabilitative care, which is the last point from where the patient goes back. So as a systems approach, accident emergency becomes a very important pillar. It is the first department in a system where it is getting the patient. And it's a very important cog in the wheel of the systems approach. Please invest adequately. I'm not talking about investment from financial point of view only. Investment from all, from the management, from the clinicians, from all part of, equally important in this department, because it has got a lot of implications. It's a life-saving area. It's a legal important area. It's an area where the patients or the relatives come to us or go away from us, and it leads to an impact of many people who are dependent on this department. So that is all which I thought we should cover through a presentation. In case anyone wants to add, you can add here. If there is not, then I will ask a question back. What do you think are the areas or issues which should not happen in an emergency department?
So one thing that I personally, sorry.
So that now we have understood the entire, we have tried to build through theory and practical both and discussion. What do you think? First, 4 or 5 things that comes to your mind that should not happen within emergency department, where I would like to focus myself on.
So there
Sir,
is one.
first, I can say that we should prioritize the patient according to the emergency, not by their status or any political influence or their reputation.
Good.
We
Next.
Sir, attend patients calmly.
Okay, very important. And calmness comes out of experience, and experience comes simultaneously. Your training and making that confidence, giving that confidence to the staff becomes equally important. So is your role towards integrating collaborative and multidisciplinary team approach and train them adequately through drills and procedures in that department, right? What else?
Yes.
What should not happen?
Sir, no internal dispute must affect emergency services.
So no politics.
Yes, sir.
Good. Anything else? These are things which are not given in books which we are talking, by the way. So that,
So there
Yes,
is,
Sir,
sir.
isolate the patient from the relatives.
Something is for the Indian context only,
excuse
sir.
me.
I'll tell you how to handle the unruly crowd which is coming with the patients, and some of them, if they are the well-to-do ones, they
Well, they
want
want.
everything to be done in a jiffy. That is number one, and something they are going to hide also from you. How did it happen? Whether he has himself has done the road traffic accidents and then he came over there. So these are the practical things which I have faced over there, working as a surgeon and administrator also.
fair enough. Anything else which we should ensure should
The
never
5S.
happen? Never happen in ED, that is emergency department. What should not happen?
वन पॉइंट इज हॉस्पिटल नेग्लिजेंस की वजह से मॉर्बिडिटी और मोर्टेलिटी नहीं होना चाहिए.
So no negligence. Negligence. When does negligence happen? When does negligence happen?
फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेडिकेशन एरर, टीम
Medication
वर्क
error.
फेलियर
Yes.
और अर्लियर ट्रीटमेंट नॉट गिवन, और लॉट्स ऑफ एग्जाम्पल.
Medication error, patient misidentification, missing
Sir, proper
documentation.
documentation must be there with
Yes,
date and time, with clear sign, signature, with stamp of that treating doctor or that specialist who is
perfectly fine.
putting up notes.
So
इन लीगल केसेस हमें फॉरेंसिक जो करना है डॉक्यूमेंटेशन वो करना ही चाहिए. किसी के साथ अनजस्टिस नहीं होना चाहिए, क्योंकि समटाइम्स
medical legal,
डिसीजन
yes,
डिपेंडिंग, मतलब हम क्या रिपोर्टिंग करते हैं तो जस्टिस उस पर भी डिपेंड करता है समटाइम्स
okay.
इन
So
अब्यूजिंग केसेस.
medical legal documentation. Anything else which should?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, Kanar Shukla, sir.
yes,
Sir,
please.
every patient has the right to be attended in emergency care, sir. No denial, no refusal of emergency care to anyone, sir.
Perfectly fine. So it is very
This
important.
is our value.
We need to have सबसे पहली चीज जो कि हमारे यहाँ पे नहीं हो सकती, what should not happen, हमें पेशेंट को पेशेंट की तरह ट्रीट करना है सबसे पहले. That life is important. His treatment, his resuscitation cannot be delayed upon. That is very important, and that where the hallmark where it comes in. Simultaneously, so many things which you all said add violence to it, where that should also not happen in the emergency department, and patient should be taken care in that manner. Why do patients wait long? Do you think that they have to keep waiting in emergency departments, and what can you do about it?
Proper triage.
Okay,
Mostly documentation की वजह से.
document. So now you're understanding the problems yourself, and you're coming. When you understand the problems, you will automatically start working toward that solution. So documentation की वजह से patient delay हो रहा है in the emergency situation. He's taking your resource. My staff is not available. I have poor bed management My ICUs and my wards are not decongested, so my emergency is occupied. They will keep eating away my resource. So what I'm supposed to do, I'm analyze my workflow. I'll go back to my root cause analysis. I'll find out what are the reasons behind it. You have to start thinking in these lines when you're a hospital administrator, because you are linking various departments together. Emergency वाला emergency में काम कर रहा है, ICU वाला ICU में काम कर रहा है, ward वाला ward में काम कर रहा है. They are not, may not be that way interlinked, but you are seeing it from a bird's eye view. So your thinking has to be aligned in that direction, right? Any question anyone has now? Any comment or anything?
Sir, one thing I would like to say that, sir, if 20% of the treatment or the dose is required and doctor is giving higher dose to just finish it off the finish of the work and get it cured fast, but it is harming or maybe side effects and all. Like
I don't think any example you have seen this happening.
Sir, many times no. We have to say that don't give heavy doses. They give like antibiotics or something like that. They give heavy doses. They do extra procedure on the patient, which is not required. But it counts
in emergency.
in the bill. In the bills, it counts, sir. Immediately they said admit kar do, and it was not required actually.
That's again, these are all what I'm trying to say. Keep noting them down. This is what should not happen. This is care-based treatment has to be provided, which is yesterday also I spoke, which was ethical in nature, and it reflects back again on the hospital operations, procedures, and processes. But I don't think the doctor with a sound professional knowledge will ever try and do anything unnecessarily in emergency where it may impact a patient adversely. Very rare cases may be there, but I don't think that's a very practical way it will happen. Then bring the person back, put a team on the person, which are the heads of the department, evaluate the treatment which has happened, and put the systems, procedures in place. There are ways to deal with that also. Anything else? That's it. Accident emergency is clear to everybody now?
Yes, sir.
What all we discussed, I hope by now in the end of it, those objectives which I laid in the beginning, I've been able to cover. %, this question will appear in your examination also.
Thanks a lot for information, sir.
Oh, that's not informing, sir. But
Or in fact, I have saved your PGDHHM slides also.
so I keep changing my presentation every time so that it's a different thing which we talk. And I purposely got into interaction because I want you all to keep speaking. Whatever is in your mind, right, wrong, just keep talking about it. Now, whenever you get a time, please go and walk across an accident emergency department from these points which we have discussed. Not imagine an accident emergency which you see in a movie. And then such questions keep coming to the mind. On ground, have a look. These factors, go across and try and evaluate yourself silently. See, you will realize a lot of things which you may now be aware of being an administrator on ground, which you will see. It's a very interesting field where you all are getting into. Keep your eyes and ears open and your knowledge base intact. You will realize that you will enjoy every day in the department or in the hospital where you will work. I assure you that.
Yes,
So-
sir. Yes.
Sir,
Well noted, sir. Sir, kindly share this PPT also, sir, for our reference.
Everything will be shared. Everything will come to you. I assure you that. And I again leave my contact details. Anyone wants to contact, any issues, any problems, feel free. I will be happy to help any of you at any point in time. Right?
सर
Yes.
सर एक क्वेश्चन और पूछना था.
बोलो.
एक्सीडेंटल कहीं पे भी कुछ हुआ, किसी का क्रिटिकल कंडीशन है, तो उसको एम्बुलेंस में लाके हॉस्पिटल एंटर कर दिया, हॉस्पिटल प्रीमाइसेस एंटर कर लिए। हॉस्पिटल प्रीमाइसेस एंटर करते साथ ही उसको स्ट्रेचर से हम एम्बुलेंस से नहीं उतारे हैं, एम्बुलेंस में ही है, और उसी वक्त पेशेंट डेथ कर जाए। और वहाँ पे डॉक्टर आके, विजिटिंग डॉक्टर आके वो लोग बुलाने गए, विजिटिंग डॉक्टर आके बोला कि हाँ ये तो यहाँ पे डेथ कर गया, इसको हम लोग यहाँ नहीं रखेंगे, डीएचएस या फिर कहीं और रेफर कर दो, तो वहाँ से तुम डायरेक्ट इसका डेथ सर्टिफिकेट इशू करोगे। तो वो केस कैसे किया गया जी?
Very
No,
important.
usually it does not happen, sir. I'm telling you. Till the
हाँ
time
सर,
I
हाँ
was there as administrator, that
सर, हुआ है
wherever
जी।
the patient reached, death certificate, broad date has to be issued from that very hospital. You cannot send it somewhere else.
सर देखिए, ऐसा हुआ है, मैंने देखा है, इसलिए मैं पूछ रही थी, क्योंकि पेशेंट को उसको एम्बुलेंस में लेके आए, हॉस्पिटल प्रीमाइसेस के अंदर उसको एंट्री किए, एंट्री करते साथ ही एम्बुलेंस से उसको स्ट्रेचर से आउटडोर में इमरजेंसी के लिए लेके जाना चाहिए, लेकिन हॉस्पिटल पहुंचते साथ वो पेशेंट का डेथ हो गया। तो वहाँ पे उसके रिलेटिव्स या अटेंडेंट जो भी थे, ऑन ड्यूटी जो डॉक्टर थे, उनको बुलाने के लिए गए कि सर ऐसा ऐसा हुआ, एक्सीडेंट हुआ है, इमरजेंसी है, आके देखिए। तो डॉक्टर वहाँ पे आके चेक करने के टाइम उसको पता लगा पेशेंट ऑलरेडी डेथ कर चुका है। वो लोग वहाँ पे उसको रिसीव करना क्या, अटेंड करना मना करके सीधा उसको रेफर कर दें हेडक्वार्टर हॉस्पिटल, आप वहाँ पे लेके जाओ, वहाँ पे वो लोग अपना मतलब फर्दर प्रोसेसिंग जो भी फाइनलाइज करना वो लोग वही करेंगे बोल के।
Okay.
तो कैसे ऐसा होना?
So in this case, I will. ये तो चलो, ये पहला पॉइंट जो आपने बोला कि बाहर से ही बोला कि बाहर से ले जाओ कहीं और. I will not. If I can be honest to you, I can say that what you are saying may have been a situation on ground. But अब मैं उल्टा इस पे सवाल ये पूछना चाहूंगा, एंड ये क्वेश्चन आपको प्रैक्टिकल आपने पूछा, एंड आई एम हैप्पी दैट यू हैव आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन. What should be the action which should happen if there is a patient which has died in an ambulance and has not entered your accident emergency? What actions? There are so many people which are attending. I can see 46. This is a practical issue and it is common. What actions should we? Because ये अगर हमें नहीं पता होगा, हम अपने emergency department को भी नहीं बताएंगे, and that is where this wrong things happen on ground, because your staff is not aware what to do. So they will only be knowing first. We should know what is to be done. So anyone who can tell me what action should happen in case the patient has died in an ambulance, has not been taken into the accident emergency or in my hospital.
Sir, I want to answer. We have faced such situations a lot of times. So it depends on what is the case. If it is an RTA, so if it was an accident case and if the patient has died in the ambulance, what we do is we do receive the patient and then we declare death in the hospital. And then after that, we're going to do a medical legal case. We're going to inform the police and then we're going to ship the patient to the mortuary. The police will eventually come and then they'll receive the patient and they'll take them for autopsy. So this is the normal procedure which we follow. Say, for
Okay.
example, if the patient is a non-MLC case, if the patient has died in an ambulance, maybe they've taken him from home and on the way the patient died. So we receive them, again we check the vital signs, we do an ECG in case if the patient is gasping, if there is some electrical activity, we do start with resuscitation, and then eventually if there was some sign of life, we start with resuscitation. If the patient dies eventually, we are going to issue a death certificate to the patient, depending upon what was the cause of death based on the history which they gave. And if the patient did not have any sign of life when we received the patient in the hospital, so we give them a letter. We usually don't give a letter, but if they insist, we usually give them that the patient was brought dead to our hospital.
So if people have heard her very clearly, she said very important things which has been brought out. We will, even if the death has happened in the ambulance, किसी भी hospital की वो ambulance हो, या वो ambulance in route ला रही थी hospital में और death हो जाती है patient की, is not even entered the hospital. That doesn't mean कि हम उस ambulance से उसको कहीं और भेज देंगे. So what do? We get stuck certain times in such situations कि हम क्या करें? अंदर हम bed पे ले नहीं सकते, hospitalize उसको हम कर नहीं सकते, he's already died. So what do? So people send it बाहर से बाहर, so that one, मेरा वर्कलोड कम होता है, मेरा हेडेक कम होता है, मेरा मेडिको लीगल प्रॉब्लम्स कम होता है. And second is, since I'm not knowing what is to be done, I avoid a situation. So she said very clearly, receive that body which has to be received clearly, and we have to shift to the designated emergency area of yours. Andar. You will not refuse acceptance of a case at any cost in time. You will ensure dignity and privacy to that patient, or till that time we have not declared it's not a died, it's not dead. And you will see that the eventually you are getting into the patient which has been brought, examine the patient, check pulse, respiration, cardiac activity, your pupillary reflexes, the way we examine a patient in that manner, and we confirm whether the death has happened or not, or in case an activity of resuscitation is required to be done. We simultaneously document the time the patient is brought, the time it has been examined, and the time it has been declared dead. We will declare the patient dead. Patient has to be declared dead by medical authorities. So it will be brought in, and this will be the procedure. Simultaneously, she said, we will add with the medico-legal case procedure, we will write unknown person, sudden death, whatever it has happened, and we don't know the cause of death, so it is unnatural, it is founded. So that is why we are raising an MLC, medico-legal case, because हमारे पास cause नहीं है. So cause needs to be ascertained through postmortem or whichever manner. It is a police responsibility subsequently. Raise a proper MLC to this. We will inform the police, and we will try and see to it that till the time all activities the way it has to be happened, it happens in the same manner. I hope I am making myself clear here. The actions to be taken with proper documentation. कौन लेके आया उसको, साथ में कौन था, क्या circumstances थे, what is the physical condition, identification marks क्या हैं, all that which gets added on a medico legal, which will be very clear. So don't pass loose statements, because the patient is in a state where relatives, they know the patient was alive and now is dead. Be very careful in your communication and who's handling, and your staff should be aware of these protocols and procedures to handle eventually such cases, and then inform the relatives simultaneously accordingly, with the complete sensitivity and privacy concerns in place. We will not do the postmortem of such cases. It will be referred to the police as a MLC. Police will take on subsequently such cases. Belongings and all other things are prepared as an inventory, taken back with whatever cash, jewelry, mobile, etc. the patient is carried. And this patient will simultaneously, if required, with the police clearance, will move to our mortuary. Also, we'll occupy a space over there where it is supposed to be in. Clear? Any question here?
Yes,
What we
sir.
discussed? So that point of view कि बाहर से बाहर निकालना is a lack of understanding and knowledge. Anyways, so we close here. If there are no questions, I hope this session was understood. It is a little difficult area, but we try to simplify by putting practical things and situations on ground so that you understand. Please go back and read the chapter on accident emergency today itself, so that things are fresh in your mind and you will remember them. Right? So we sign off here. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, sir. We crossed half century today, but the one more topic, that is ICU, was supposed to be discussed. So we can do it later on, sir.
You can request IGNU, sir. They have put a schedule. I don't know whether ICU is there.
Yeah,
But
it was there for today's session also, sir.
today I've got intimation for accident emergency. मेरे पास
It
उसी
was-
का
Actually, both was what was shared to us. It mentioned both.
आप you can raise a query back to them, sir, because
ठीक,
we as faculties have been given schedules and topics. So that's how, according to that, we are going ahead with it. So
Okay, so madam, representative from RC Delhi 2, are you still here? No. She also left. So I'll write a mail, sir, to them. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Really, it was a nice presentation. In fact, I was moving from hospital to this place, so that's why there was some break in between.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
We
thank
feel
you.
connected in these kind of sessions.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.